The Seven Ages by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare is widely regarded as the world's leading dramatist and greatest writer in the English language. Born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon in England, his works, especially his plays, have been translated into all the major languages of the world. His initial plays were comedies and histories, which were followed by tragedies and tragic comedies. The poem, The Seven Ages, appears in his famous comedy play As You Like It and describes the 7 phases in a man's life from childhood to old age. Let's listen to the poem now. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then, the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail who unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad, made to his mistress's eyebrow, then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubbled reputation. Even in the cannon's mouth, and then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide, for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish treble, pipes, and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Let's now understand the poem in detail. In this poem, Shakespeare compares human life to a stage which is set by the ultimate creator and where all human beings are mere puppets acting out the various roles as directed by the creator. Each person makes an entry into this world at birth and exits this world at death. Additionally, during his or her lifetime, each person plays several roles. The first role is that of an infant who cries and vomits on his nurse's lap. In this stage, he must be constantly attended to and is completely dependent on others. With passing years, the infant slips into the role of a schoolboy who unwillingly goes to school carrying a small bag over his shoulder. In this stage of life, he is frightened of what the world holds in store for him and is hesitant to move out of his protective shell. In time, the boy blossoms into a passionate young adolescent lover, sighing and craving for his beloved's attention while also composing sad ballads. At this stage of life, he visualizes life as a bed of roses, is obsessed with his love and seeks pleasures in his woos. The young lover then transforms into the role of a soldier who promises to protect and guard his motherland. He is now a young adult who sports a beard on his face and is as adventurous as a leopard. He is also unpredictable and does things that make him look good even if they are pointless. He also takes great care of his reputation, which is actually short-lived and empty like a bubble. Even if it meant going to war to keep up his reputation, he would. After this stage, he goes on to become a middle-aged judge who is rich and contented. He now has a large round belly from eating good chicken and has intense eyes and a short formal beard. He has now reached a stage in life where he has attained social status and prosperity. Owing to his experiences, he has great knowledge and wisdom and speaks to people in a just and wise manner. In the sixth stage of life, the middle-aged man grows old, becomes thin and wears spectacles and slippers. He is now the brunt of others' jokes and loses both his mental and physical charm and has become too small for the world. He has also shrunken in size and his clothes hang loosely around him. Further, at this stage, his once manly voice turns into a high-pitched, childish one. Finally, he enters the seventh and the last stage of life, where he experiences his second childhood. Once again in his life, he is dependent on people for his day-to-day activities. He is now senile and forgetful and slowly loses his teeth, eyesight, taste, and finally loses himself or dies. Notice that this poem does not have a rhyme scheme. It is in fact a blank verse comprising unrhymed lines. Shakespeare has also used poetic devices like similes and metaphors in this poem. A simile is a figure of speech that indirectly compares two different things by using the words like, as, or than. For example, creeping like snail. Let us look at some other examples of similes. She swims like a dolphin. He was as tough as a bull, and he kicks like a mule. The poem also uses metaphors for comparison. A metaphor is a figure of speech that compares two ideas or objects. In this comparison, a word or phrase that denotes a certain idea or object is applied to another word or phrase to imply some similarity between them. For example, all the world's a stage. A few other examples of metaphors include life is a struggle. The inside of the van was a refrigerator My dad was boiling mad. Thus, the poem The Seven Ages aptly depicts the different stages of human life and implies that our life is like a vicious circle that begins as an infant dependent on someone, normally a nurse, and ends as an aged person who is once again dependent on someone for care.